to shout other people.
No, I don't speak like that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
Why are you fighting?
Yeah. Thank you, Asim.
Why are you
I'm not.
Why are you fighting? We don't go
Why is you?
So let's debate. Let's debate this.
He said you can't talk over him. He's talking over me.
Yeah, you're talking of him.
Two people talking at the same time.
Yeah, but you're doing it. You're doing it.
I'm scared.
Member of the Islamic Dawah team who doesn't want to debate.
I'm scared.
Doesn't want to be
You don't let me speak. You don't let me speak.
So do you want to debate Tawhid?
Yes. So let me speak.
Okay. So let's do that. Let's do that.
Let me speak then.
Okay. So
Okay. So now listen carefully. Now we have to lay down a foundation. Okay.
the format.
Whatever you call, it's foundation criteria. You know it's criteria.
Format.
Format.
Talking about the format of the debate.
Okay. Meaning that in order for you to speak about the book of Allah, the Quran, you have to bring how the Prophet Muhammad understood it and how the companions understood it. Because in the Quran, it tells us how to understand the Quran by going to Prophet Muhammad ﷺ and by going to the companions, likewise to the scholars. You cannot use your own understanding to the Quran. Do you accept that?
No. So,
Okay, that's not possible.
the fact of the matter is,
You see what I'm saying? No, it's not. That is not finished. Finish.
Do you notice? He demanded that I listen to him. Yes. But now he doesn't want to listen to me. So, deciding the format of the debate is about deciding the terms of the debate in terms of pacing and how you structure the debate. Deciding the format of the debate is not talking about what evidence you can use and how that evidence can be interpreted.
Very true.
No, it's not.
The fact of the matter is, each of us are to construct our argument using the evidence that we have, and the merits of our argument will be judged by you who are listening and watching. So if I am making something up about the Quran, he will find it very easily to prove. If I'm not making something up, he won't find it so easy. So he can't decide for me what evidence I use and how I use it. His job in this debate is, if I am misusing evidence, to expose that.
You finished?
Yeah.
Okay. And now what I said, it makes sense. You know why? Imagine now I'm coming to British law. I'm going to give an example. If is it logical for me to start judging the British law according to Algerian law? It's not, because British law say no. This is British law. You have, if you want to submit to it, you have to submit to it according how the British government lay down the law. And now when it comes to the Quran tells us how to understand it. So therefore, when you're going to use the verse, the Quran tell you how to use the verse according what to the Prophet Muhammad's understanding. Likewise the companions. Otherwise, you'll be contradicting yourself. Do you understand my point? Does it make sense? It makes sense. Now, if you come to the Quran with your understanding of the Bible,
2 minutes.
do you
No time here.
I'll do 2 minutes.
He's
still trying to tell me He's still trying to
make
tell me.
space. So now, do you understand my point? Do you understand my point? So now, go for the sake of argument. Let us what you want to speak about. Go
Okay.
on.
So
For the sake of argument, go on.
So firstly,
show you that is me.
I don't see any evidence in the Quran that tells Muslims to use hadiths. None. Not one. Not a bit. Actually, it says that the Quran. It says that the Quran.
Wait.
It says that the Quran is its interpretation.
Yes.
It doesn't say anything about using a separate body of literature to interpret the Quran.
Okay.
So I'm quite within
No, he
my
misquoted the
means.
Quran. I'm going to correct him.
So I am going
Yeah.
quite within my reams to reject his logic.
No, wait. You misquoted the
now
Quran.
talking-
No, you should correct me. I'm going.
now
No.
talking-
There's no 2 minutes. I told you
We're now
already. He
talking
misquoted the
about
Quran.
Islamic
I'm going to give you a
Tawhid.
proof
This
that you
guy
have
is
to
talking
understand
over
it.
me.
Because I said to you, there's no 2 minutes. I'm not talking over you. You just told me. No. He misquoted the Quran. I'm trying to correct him.
Do you see how
It's not fruitful. No,
Islamic
it's not Islamic Dawah. No. He's talking over me. No. Listen, I never agreed with his criteria.
Interrupt each other.
Listen, can I speak?
Is Tawhid. Do you want to debate Tawhid? Yes or
No,
no?
wait. I said yes, but let me speak now.
so let's
You just
go
no.
Stop changing the topic. Stop taping the topic.
Wait. Okay, now remember what he said. He said this. His wording. He said, Shamsi, what you can do if I miss the Quran or I miss something, you can correct me. Did he say that? No. Oh, okay, that's what I'm doing now. I said he said
Islamic
no.
Tawhid.
And it's
topic of
let me. No, let me.
the topic of the debate.
Discussion.
2 words, people. You know what?
To talk about
Brothers, what's the operation or something? We had the operation somewhere.
Leave the guy alone.
You know what I mean?
He's already having a difficult day.
No, let us speak now.
Don't make it more worse for him.
Keep it simple. You make one point, you respond.
Okay, no,
You
simple.
make one point,
For the sake of argument, but let me just correct one point. One point he made mistake on. One point he made mistake that he said in the Quran does not tell us to go outside the Quran to understand it. I can't speak. We speak in the same time. Barakallahu fiqh. In the hadith. But Allah said in Surah Al-Nahl, وَأَنزَلْنَا إِلَيْكَ الذِّكْرَ لِتُبَيِّنَ لِلنَّاسِ مَا أُنزِلَ إِلَيْهِمْ. That's why the problem with this I don't want to call them foolish people minded. You know what I mean? I cannot understand. Let me charge it. Foolish man. Okay, let me finish. Let me finish. So Allah said, "Oh Muhammad, we send down the dhikr to you here in order for you to explain to them what has been revealed to them." Allah sent the Quran. If you define anything, brother, please, I don't know what you're talking about. Please, I don't know what you're talking about. Why are you talking? Brother, why are you chicken around here?
Take a number, get in line.
Brother, I always say, Jahil, Muslims, ignorant, stay in your houses. Don't come speak his corner. Anyway, Allah sent the Quran. If you define anything, you say to who? To Allah. So to Nisa, to Allah, and to who? To his Prophet. So again, Allah sent the Quran. I'll show you another verse. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned.
No, 1 point.
خلاص. So I'll show you misquote.
No, point.
So let's go Tawheed. Let's go Tawheed.
So, despite the fact that I invited him to talk about Islamic Tawheed, he's managed to change the topic
No, go Tawheed.
to Hadith and
No. هذا كذاب. هذا أبو جهل.
Notice the
أبو جهل. English Abu Jahl.
all the time.
Anyway, we're gonna shout.
You
Anyway,
never have a debate with a Muslim without the Islamic
MashaAllah,
Dawah team.
the biggest heckler in the world.
And heckling
This guy, he got a medal
every
from the
time
Queen to be a heckler.
So,
He got a medal from the Queen to be a heckler.
I thought I was meant to be talking and you were meant to be listening.
Without shouting.
So he quoted a verse of the Quran that told the Muslims to go to Muhammad for the interpretation of the Quran.
Indeed.
I quite agree. Muslims
So what you said
to
no?
go to Muhammad for the interpretation.
I just showed you contradiction.
Except that when Muhammad died, what do you have left? You don't have any hadith.
No, you have Sahaba.
200 years.
That's not true.
Don't interrupt.
That's not true.
Don't interrupt.
Yeah, that's not true.
Don't interrupt.
That's not true.
Notice how he's interrupting.
Yeah, no. Who might be
Notice how he's
No,
interrupting.
you lied.
However, what
You
the
lied.
Quran
No. That's my way. You
says-
cannot fool Shubha.
Notice he's interrupting.
Look,
what
interrupting.
the Quran also
No,
says,
before.
there is in their stories instruction for men imbued with understanding.
That's translation
It
of the
is
Quran.
not a hadith invented, but a confirmation that went before it, a detailed exposition of all things. If the Quran is a detailed exposition of all things,
Yes.
you don't need any hadiths.
Yes.
Except that you do need hadiths because the Quran is not a detailed exposition of all things.
Okay, you're
it
finished.
actually misses out lots of information. So I would challenge you.
No, before you challenge me, you can answer
Without
this.
using hadith.
No, before.
Without using hadith.
Without using hadith.
Without using the hadiths,
His topic
to
is still
show
off
me
Yes, off topic.
where in the Shahada, the formula of the Shahada you give when you become a Muslim, where is this instruction and where is its formula in the Quran? That you have to say it and it's in this formula.
Okay,
Show
you
me in
mentioned
the
something
Quran.
good. He mentioned something good, yes? Let us now
So I
start
want to
talking.
get it on to Tawheed.
You're over me now.
Oh, he's quick to complain.
Hakila doesn't speak. The Hakila doesn't speak to Hakila. I'm just joking.
Double
I'm
standard.
just
You're used to
joking.
it. The
I'm
Islamic
just-
Dawah team live by double standards.
No, brother.
He's part of the Islamic
I'm
Dawah
not
team.
talking.
Hashim's part of the
Can I
Islamic
speak now?
Dawah
Can I
team.
speak now?
He's part of the Islamic Dawah team. He's part of the Islamic
When you
Dawah team.
finish, let me know.
What about
Can
the
I
Jismic
speak?
Dawah
Yeah, go on.
Can I speak now? He mentioned a verse.
I'm debating Shamsi, not Hashim.
He mentioned a verse in Surah Yusuf. نعم. إخوة.
You love that, don't you?
Let's hear it.
Sorry.
He
go
mentioned,
on.
I'm sorry for shouting and that because I don't like shouting sometimes, even me I do shout, of course, without any doubt. But I like to have a nice conversation. He mentioned a verse in the Quran, ما كان حديثا يفترى ولكن تصديق الذي بين يديه. Then he mentioned a verse in Surah Yusuf, it's not an invented speech, but it's detailed. But he doesn't not understand what does it mean in the Quran when he said detailed. Because within the Quran, he give us how to understand it. So that part, that is part of being in detailed. So how to understand the book? Allah told us in the Quran by going to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Likewise by following the companions. Likewise what? By going back to scholars. So is it in detail? Is it? Like now when I advise you, my son, I'm going to advise you in details what to do. If you have a problem with the mechanic, go to the mechanician. If you have a problem with your body, go to doctors. But I never told you how the doctors will treat you. That is detailed or not? It's still detailed because why? I'm referring you to how to. So I'm saying that's why I give you a nice benefit here.
Except,
Can I speak?
one point.
No, I haven't finished.
No,
I haven't finished. So now,
One last point.
you can't tell me. You can.
This is second point.
I haven't even finished my point.
You made a point.
I haven't finished my point.
Finish your point.
I said
Finish your
point.
Finish your
Okay.
point.
On the same point. Go.
Yes, of
Finish your
course.
point, on the same
So what he just did is exactly what took place between one of the Muslim scholars and the rabbis. The rabbi, he tried to mock the Muslim scholars. He said they were having a meal together. So he said to the Muslim, in your Quran says, Allah has clarified everything in the Quran. So can you tell me how this food is being made? The scholar said, yes, Allah told us that in the Quran. He said, how? He called the chef. He said, come, tell us how you made the food. He said, this and that. And the man said to him, where is this in the Quran? Allah said, ask people of knowledge if you do not know. And this person is a person of knowledge how to make the food. Brilliant. Allah Akbar. So I just took 2 points.
So,
هو زهق الباطل.
no, 1 second. 1 second. You had your chance. 1 second. No, stop.
No.
You had your chance.
No. You must 2 points. أبغى الشهادة. أبغى الشهادة. أبغى الشهادة.
We all heard that.
You just said
1 point.
شهادة.
Now it's my
You must
turn.
شهادة.
No,
Guys, I don't wish to be judged. No.
Shamsi,
شهادة.
Shamsi, no, stop, Shamsi, no,
شهادة.
no,
I'm finished. You must
Shamsi,
شهادة.
you made a point. It's my turn to reply.
No, I don't play
These
around.
were your rules. Now we're going
Then
to stick
when we shall see leaves, that's what should be scared. That's my point. When you speak to these people, they don't listen. You must shahada.
Notice every time that I have a talk,
I will do it after.
the Islamic Dawah team, I have to
do after.
fight for the right to speak. So,
Okay, go on.
Keep going.
I asked Shamsi a very
Hold this
basic question. I asked him to show me in the Quran where it says that
I was going to finish it. You see what I did? When I was speaking, he said the same.
Look at it all the time.
Allahu Akbar.
Double standards by the Islamic Dawah team. They eat double standards. They breathe double standards. They live by double standards. So
Yeah, I finished my point.
Shamsi,
He caught me now.
Shamsi,
He's going to have answered it. But I've answered it.
once again, always
That's what I'm against me.
double standards by
That's
Shamsi.
okay.
So,
Stop complaining and
So,
just follow the
I'm trying to. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay,
You're
go.
stealing all my best lines.
Okay.
You love it,
So-
don't you? When I put it on you.
Okay, go.
Turn the table on you.
Copyright. I've got copyright.
Bob, you're getting moved to. Go on.
No, the point that I'm making. The point that I'm making. The point that I'm
Go on,
making.
be quick.
Is I asked Shamsi a very basic question. Show me in the Quran where it says to become a Muslim, you must say these words and then gives the formula of the Shahada.
Very simple.
The reason why I
was
asked
gonna ask you to stop
that
doing
is because I want to move this debate off the Hadiths and the Quran and onto my original topic, which was about Islamic Tawheed.
Yes.
That's why I asked the question.
So let me answer it.
However,
However,
just
I'm
going
answering
back
it.
to the
Let him
Quran,
finish.
it says,
This joke,
we
أخي.
know best what they say, and thou art not one to overawe them by force, so admonish them with the Quran, such as fear my warning. It says admonish them with the Quran, not the Quran and Hadiths. The idea of using Hadith
It's not
is
good point, it's
not
not good point.
commanded by
It's not good
Allah. Allah only commands the first Muslims to follow Muhammad's interpretation of the Quran. It does not justify the writing, compiling and use
Oh,
of
talking about
a
Hadith or Tawheed
second
now?
body of literature.
He's the ago
This is the
subject.
point
He's
that I'm
saying.
making.
Anyway.
So,
Give me the phone. You should make sure.
I'll ask you the
No.
question again. Show me in the Quran.
No.
Where it says to become a Muslim, you say these words.
No.
and it gives
Don't
the
follow his way.
formula.
Don't
Please.
follow his way. Ikhwa.
Answer the
Can I- No. Don't tell me what to do.
Answer the question.
No. Let me
Answer the question.
Just calm me.
Don't duck and dive.
Carry on with the last one.
When you finish, let me speak. Huh? Okay. Ikhwa, do you remember many times I mentioned, don't let a kafir billah lay down for you.
Dirty, filthy.
Okay,
You love
kafir. Okay, don't let. Okay,
You don't know.
okay. I see. I'm gonna speak.
That's the kind of intonation of calling someone
Don't let the Christian. I can't speak. Okay. Can I abuse you? Are you kafir or Muslim? Are you kafir or Muslim?
Carry on.
Are you kafir or Muslim?
Carry on.
Kafir. Okay.
Carry on. The insulting language of the Islamic Dawah.
Okay. Don't let. Okay. Can I speak now? Okay. Don't let.
Answer my question.
Can I speak?
Carry on.
Okay. Don't let a Christian man comes lay down a criteria for us how to believe in Islam. Don't come to me tell me you only use the Quran. Don't do that to me. I'm not Qurani. I'm a Muslim Salafi Sunni, which I follow the Quran and the Sunnah and the Prophet. Where in the Quran says Shahadatan? Here Allah said, فَعْلَمْ أَنَّهُ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا اللَّهِ Surah Muhammad, verse
Which
19.
surah, please?
Surah Muhammad, verse 19. فَعْلَمْ
Sorry, which surah?
Surah Muhammad, verse 19. Verse 19.
What's the chapter?
I
don't know the name.
I know about chapters, I know about surahs. Okay. 47, yeah? Verse 19. فَعْلَمْ أَنَّهُ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا اللَّهِ وَاسْتَغْفِرْ لِذَنْبِكَ. Acknowledge there is no one worthy of worship except Allah. The other verse, Muhammadun Ish Rasulullah. So now, this...
Sorry, wait,
no,
sorry, 1 second.
No, before-
Which verse, please?
Verse 19. I said verse 19.
47,
Okay.
19.
Let's read it first.
No, let's read it. I'm
No,
speaking.
it's all right. Let him
Let
talk.
me-
Let him talk.
Yeah, speak. Now he's gonna. And now he's going to ask. I can speak now. You can. Now he's going to ask, where does it say Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah anna Muhammad Rasulullah? Allah said in the Quran, where Allah said, obey Allah and obey the messenger. What the messenger said? He said, Al-Islamu buniya ala khams, shahadatu an la ilaha illallah, wa anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. That Islam is being built upon 5 pillars. The first one, no. That's what I'm going to do. Translation. No, let me finish. Translation. That Prophet Muhammad said, so it's in the Quran, yes. Where the Quran says, Allah said, obey the messenger. What the messenger said, that Islam will be built on the first pillar. What is that? To testify there is no one worthy of worship except Allah, and to testify that Muhammad is Allah's messenger. I finish. You cannot
Okay,
impose. Wait. No, wait, I haven't. Wait.
Okay,
You cannot.
finish your point, Shamsi.
You cannot. Listen carefully. You cannot impose your way on me. I'm a Muslim, not a Christian, not him, so you cannot oppose my way. The other point I was going to mention.
Other point.
No. Same point. No, I'm a hadith. Look at this stuff. No,
He's running away.
I'm running. No. He's going to let me finish. He's going to finish. No, he learned this hadith. No. Let me finish. Because you let me finish.
So angry.
You don't let me finish.
Another point.
No.
Agreed.
Same point.
1 point.
The same point. Okay, same point.
Always no.
It's a joke.
You've done.
No, it's a joke. No.
I asked
Same point.
Shamsi
Point. No.
very simple,
Same point.
very
I answered the
easy
question. Don't impose your way.
I
Answer
said
it.
to him, please show
Answer
me
it.
in the Quran
Yes.
where Allah
I did. Alhamdulillah.
commands to
Khalas.
become a Muslim.
Khalas.
You have to say a shahada,
Yeah, khalas.
and he gives the formula.
The formula.
Evidence.
I told you only the
that he
Quran
brought
Sunnah.
forward
Now look after yourself.
was
That's it.
Surah 47, verse 19.
Yeah, khalas. I'm going to say
says,
Muslims.
no,
Reason. No.
that there
No,
is
because you're
no
not
God
listening. He tried to
but
impose your way.
and
No.
ask forgiveness for thy fault.
Nah.
And
It's a
for
prayer
the
time.
men and
I
women
answered this
who
question.
believe
You
for
cannot
Allah
impose your way.
knows
I follow the
how
Quran and the
you
Sunnah.
live
And in line
how
against
you dwell
hadith.
in your home.
Yes.
The fact of the matter
And the other one
is,
is not Arab.
he has
Anyway.
not shown the shahada.
I'm wrong.
And now he's running away.
Come. He didn't go.
He hasn't shown the shahada.
don't go by your way.
I asked him to show me the shahada, and he hasn't done it.
I showed you.
I'll give you another
didn't let him
chance. I'll give you another chance.
Come.
Show me in the
Go on.
Show me. Where does it say?
No. Okay, anyway, Ikhwa Muslim, come on man, come this side. Okay, now, you know, stop heckling. You know, listen, no, answer me. As a Muslim, I said that already. I said don't let the Christians lay down the criteria for your belief. He cannot come to us. He said you only have to use the Quran because I'm not Qurani. That's why in the beginning I mentioned it clear. Let us lay down a foundation. I believe in the Quran and the Sunnah. So doesn't the Quran say it? Yes. It said obey Allah's messenger. What the messenger said? testify there is no one worthy of worship except Allah and Muhammad the messenger of Allah. Likewise, Allah mentioned it in general that bear with whoever bear that Prophet Muhammad is the messenger of Allah, they will have paradise. Whoever believe, you see what I'm saying? So my point, he's just shouting. Ikhwa, leave him.
Finish the second point for the Shahada.
Yeah, I mentioned that.
Finish the second point. Tell him.
Yeah,
the second point.
Yeah, I'm reading here. What I said, Ikhwa, can you come this side? He's just shouting here. Ikhwa, no, leave. Wallah, Ikhwa, you know what it will become? Okay, this is no way. What was, give me the...
Shamsi.
Stop heckling.
Shamsi, come and
Go away.
answer my question.
Stop
I
heckling.
answered it. You don't like it. You don't like it. You don't.
Why don't you
You cannot dictate to how to prove. I just showed you. But
Ignore him.
you cannot dictate. No, you can't dictate to me. Anyway, yeah. That's how the Christians behave.
Speak to the camera.
And when you answer a question, don't like it. And now, okay. Listen carefully. Listen. Okay. I respond. I'm not happy with that. You're not happy with it. That's it. I'm gonna leave you. Yeah, خلاص. Ikhwa, what I told you already. Don't let a kafir billah or a Christian, anyone, lay down a criteria for your belief. Well, remember in the beginning I said, don't let him lay down a foundation, meaning you only use the Quran. Because in the Quran, it tells us to obey who? The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. In the Quran, it tells us, whoever believes in Muhammad, then he will be from what? From those who enter to Jannah. Whoever worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone will be from the people of Jannah. And they are the Muslimun. Yes? But in details, I'm not speaking to no one, I'm speaking to the camera. Okay? I can speak to you after. In details, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam explained it. What he just did, just like a Rafida, they go to unclear verses. He went to unclear verses that use the Quran as a reminder. But likewise, there's other verses where Allah told us to go back to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and to go back to his understanding. So when he understood him, he didn't like it, and he's not happy with the answer. I cannot force him. Likewise, when you ask Christians, show me Trinity in the Bible, they will give you answer, and they tell you if you're not happy, you don't take it. So why you try to impose your way on us when you try to impose our way on you? You don't like it. You see what I'm saying? So be careful from these criteria that you try to lay down. Only use the Quran. No. In the Quran, tell us how to understand the Quran, and it tell us how to understand the prophetic tradition. Him saying I haven't answered it doesn't not mean I have not. I did answer it. It's like a person, you try to show him the sun and he closes his eyes. You know, you show him the sun, but he doesn't want to see the sun. Anyway.